Have you ever wondered if there are plants that not only heal your body, but also restore your soul? In a world where quick fixes and instant gratification often take the lead, Ellen G. White, with her profound spiritual wisdom, revealed a century ago the hidden secrets of nature. 3 plants seemingly ordinary hold the power to transform our health in ways we never imagined. But what makes these plants so powerful? How is it possible that they can heal us physically and spiritually? In today's society, where natural remedies are often overlooked in favor of modern medicine, we are forgetting what nature offers us. But Ellen G. White, as a prophetic voice, had already anticipated this. These plants are not just remedies. They are divine tools, chosen to restore not only our bodies, but our connection with the eternal. The knowledge of these plants has been hidden for generations, but now, more than ever, we need to rediscover them. Modern medicine might treat symptoms, but who is tending to the soul? Ellen G. White made it clear that physical health alone is not enough without spiritual health. And these 3 plants, by their divine power, are designed to restore both. But why these particular plants? What is their connection to our spirituality and our bond with God? Now is the time to explore these forgotten secrets. And what if I told you that everything you need for complete healing is already within your reach, right in the nature surrounding you? What we are about to share today could change the way you view health and life itself. It's not just about discovering plants, it's about discovering how nature, guided by divine principles, can fully restore your life. Imagine a world where physical and spiritual health are not separate, but a perfect harmony between the body and the soul. Ellen G. White, in her deep spiritual understanding, gave us a glimpse of that world. She taught that nature's plants, when used properly, can not only heal the body but also strengthen the spirit. These 3 plants, seemingly common, are divine gifts designed to restore not only our health but also our connection to God. As science progresses, many believe that natural remedies belong to the past, relegated to myths or outdated practices. But what happens when modern science meets divine wisdom? The 3 plants Ellen G. White revealed are not just cures for temporary illnesses, but gateways to complete restoration. They are a bridge between the earthly and the divine, between body and soul. These plants have the power to reconnect our lives with a higher purpose, something that conventional treatments simply cannot offer. One of the greatest mistakes of our time is thinking that healing is limited to medicine. True healing, as Ellen G. White described, begins in the heart and soul. By restoring that connection through the plants surrounding us, we can experience a deeper, more lasting peace than what modern medicine can provide. These 3 plants are not just physical remedies, but spiritual instruments that help us reconnect with the Creator and live a more abundant life. But what makes these plants so powerful? The answer lies within nature itself, created by God to heal our afflictions. From ancient times, cultures have used plants to treat ailments, but what Ellen G. White taught us was far deeper. These plants don't just heal, they have the power to restore our inner peace, our hope, and our connection to the eternal. Today, in a world increasingly disconnected from spiritual principles, it is more urgent than ever to rediscover these divine tools. And so, we face a fundamental question. Are we ready to return to the essence of what truly heals us? What if the answer to our physical and spiritual pain has always been right in front of us, hidden in nature, waiting to be discovered again? As we delve deeper into the wisdom revealed by Ellen G. White, it becomes clear that true healing does not come from external sources alone. It is a holistic restoration that involves both body and soul. Modern society often treats the symptoms of illness, but it rarely addresses the spiritual disconnect that lies at the heart of much suffering. Ellen G. White understood that true health is not just physical, it is a reflection of our relationship with God. These 3 plants are not merely solutions for physical ailments, but are symbols of divine principles designed to restore our spiritual well-being. The world today is increasingly focused on quick fixes and temporary solutions. We are constantly searching for instant relief, but true healing requires patience and faith. Ellen G. White taught that healing comes from aligning our bodies with God's divine plan. These three plants are powerful not just because of their physical properties, but because they help us reconnect with the Creator. They are reminders that healing is not simply about curing a disease, it is about restoring the balance between our bodies, minds, and spirits. In her writings, Ellen G. White made it clear that the power of nature to heal is not a new concept, but an ancient truth. The plants she revealed to us are a divine gift, tools that, when used correctly, bring us closer to the divine. They are part of God's plan to restore the world to its original state of harmony. But as the modern world moves further away from spiritual practices, we risk losing touch with this divine wisdom. These plants are a bridge back to that connection, a lifeline in a world that increasingly values the material over the spiritual. It's easy to dismiss the healing power of plants when we're bombarded with advertisements for modern medicine. But what if the answer to our ailments has always been in nature? Ellen G. White's teachings show us that the solutions we seek are already available to us, hidden in the natural world. These plants are part of God's grand design, and by embracing them, we can experience a healing that goes far beyond the physical. They offer us the chance to reconnect with the divine, restoring our peace and balance, both inside and out. The true power of these plants lies not just in their ability to heal, but in their ability to remind us of the divine order of the universe. They show us that health is not just the absence of disease, but the presence of spiritual harmony. By returning to the teachings of Ellen G. White, we can rediscover the balance between body and soul, and begin to experience a more complete healing, one that transcends physical health and touches the deepest parts of our spirit. In our modern world, it is easy to overlook the spiritual aspect of healing. We often focus solely on the physical, believing that modern medicine is the ultimate solution to our ailments. However, as Ellen G. White emphasized, true healing comes from the inside out. It is not merely about treating symptoms. It's about restoring the connection between our physical bodies and our spiritual essence. The three plants she revealed to us are more than just physical remedies. They are tools to help us reconnect with God, our Creator, and to experience the deep healing that can only come through faith. The deeper truth that Ellen G. White reveals is that healing is not a quick fix. It is a transformative process. The three plants she spoke of are not magical cures. Rather, they are gifts from nature that can help us find balance and harmony in our lives. But this balance comes not only through their physical properties, but through our willingness to embrace the spiritual wisdom they offer. As we reconnect with God through these natural remedies, we begin to experience a deeper sense of peace, clarity, and purpose in our lives. One of the most powerful aspects of these plants is that they remind us of our divine origin. They serve as a tangible reminder that we are not just biological beings, we are spiritual beings, created in God's image. By embracing these plants and using them in accordance with God's principles, we align ourselves with His divine will. This alignment is the key to true healing, physical, mental, and spiritual. The act of caring for our bodies with these plants becomes an act of worship, a way to honor God and His creation. Ellen G. White's teachings were ahead of her time, and they remain incredibly relevant today. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with quick fixes and superficial solutions, her message is a call to return to the basics. The true source of healing is not found in synthetic drugs or fleeting solutions. It is found in God's creation. These plants are a living testament to His wisdom and His love for us, offering us the chance to heal in a way that goes beyond the physical. As we move forward, we must ask ourselves, Are we willing to embrace these simple yet powerful remedies that God has provided for us? Are we ready to restore not only our physical health, but our spiritual connection with the Creator? These plants are a gift, a tool for restoration, but only if we open our hearts and minds to the divine wisdom they offer. Ellen G. White's message is clear. Healing is not just about the body. It is about restoring our entire being to its rightful place in God's creation. As we continue to explore the teachings of Ellen G. White, it becomes evident that the healing process is deeply spiritual and requires a holistic approach. In today's world, where instant gratification and materialism dominate our lives, it's easy to forget the power of natural healing. We live in a society that often prioritizes external solutions over internal transformation. However, the three plants Ellen G. White revealed to us offer a solution that is both simple and profound, one that addresses not just the symptoms, but the root cause of our suffering, the disconnection between our body and spirit. The modern world offers many remedies, but few of them address the spiritual aspect of our being. Ellen G. White emphasized that our health is not just a physical matter, it is a reflection of our relationship with God. These three plants, through their divine properties, help restore that connection, healing both body and soul. When we use them with intention and faith, we are not merely treating our ailments, we are inviting God's healing presence into our lives. This process is transformative, as it restores us to the divine purpose for which we were created. These plants, though simple, carry deep spiritual significance. They are reminders that true healing comes not from human effort alone, but from a divine connection. Ellen G. White's teachings highlight the importance of using nature's resources in harmony with God's will. The plants serve as instruments through which we can restore our spiritual and physical well-being, bringing us back to a state of balance and peace that only comes through divine intervention. In this chaotic world, the need for spiritual healing is greater than ever. We are constantly bombarded by distractions, temptations, and stresses that disconnect us from our true selves and from God. The three plants Ellen G. White revealed are an invitation to slow down, reconnect, and restore our spiritual health. They remind us that healing is not just about fixing what is broken, but about realigning ourselves with the Creator's plan for us. The urgency of embracing these plants lies not in their medicinal properties alone, but in their spiritual power to reconnect us to God. In a world where the soul is often neglected, these plants offer a way to heal, to restore, and to reconnect. They are a gift from God, a reminder that true healing comes from Him, and that we must prioritize our spiritual health if we are to experience true peace and well-being. As we reach the final part of our journey through Ellen G. White's teachings, it's crucial to recognize the profound urgency of restoring not only our physical health, but also our spiritual connection. The world today is more disconnected than ever, consumed by superficial pursuits and quick fixes. Ellen G. White's timeless message calls us to return to what is truly healing, the balance between body, mind, and spirit. These three plants are more than just remedies. They are divine instruments that help us reconnect with the Creator and experience a healing that transcends the physical. The healing process Ellen G. White describes is not one of instant gratification. It is a transformative journey that requires patience, faith, and a deep spiritual awakening. By embracing the gifts of nature, especially these three powerful plants, we are invited into a process of restoration that honors God's design for us. They are not just cures for ailments, but pathways back to divine harmony. Through them, we learn that healing is not just about treating symptoms, it's about restoring our soul, our connection to God, and our place in His creation. As Ellen G. White emphasized, the mind and body cannot be treated in isolation. True healing comes from aligning ourselves with God's will, and that is where these plants play their part. They remind us that our health, our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, is deeply intertwined with our relationship with God. By using these plants with reverence and faith, we are not only healing ourselves, but are also living in harmony with the divine purpose for which we were created. The question now is, are we ready to embrace this divine wisdom? Are we willing to allow these plants to transform our lives, both physically and spiritually? The world may offer quick solutions, but the true healing that Ellen G. White speaks of is deeper, more profound, and eternal. It requires us to slow down, to reconnect with nature, and to restore our relationship with God. These plants are not just physical remedies. They are a call to return to God's original plan for humanity, where true health and peace reside. Now more than ever, the world needs the healing that comes from reconnecting with God's creation. The teachings of Ellen G. White invite us to rediscover these plants and the profound power they hold to restore our bodies, minds, and spirits. It is time to embrace this divine wisdom and allow it to transform our lives. If this message resonated with you, share it with others who are seeking true healing. Like, comment, and subscribe to continue exploring the timeless truths that can bring peace and restoration to our lives. Let's restore our health, faith, and purpose together, guided by the wisdom of Ellen G. White. As we reach the final part of this journey through Ellen G. White's teachings, it's crucial to recognize the urgency of restoring not just our physical health, but our spiritual connection. The world today is more disconnected than ever, consumed by superficial pursuits and quick fixes. Ellen G. White's timeless message calls us to return to what truly heals, the balance between body, mind, and spirit. These three plants are more than just remedies. They are divine instruments that help us reconnect with the Creator and experience healing that transcends the physical. The healing process Ellen G. White describes is not about instant gratification. It's a transformative journey that requires patience, faith, and a deep spiritual awakening. By embracing the gifts of nature, especially these three powerful plants, we are invited into a process of restoration that honors God's design for us. They are not just cures for ailments, they are pathways to divine harmony. Through them, we learn that healing is not just about treating symptoms, it's about restoring our soul, our connection with God, and our place in His creation. As Ellen G. White emphasized, the mind and body cannot be treated in isolation. True healing comes from aligning ourselves with God's will, and that is where these plants play their part. They remind us that our health, our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being is deeply intertwined with our relationship with God. By using these plants with reverence and faith, we are not only healing ourselves, but also living in harmony with the divine purpose for which we were created. The question now is, are we ready to embrace this divine wisdom? Are we willing to allow these plants to transform our lives, both physically and spiritually? The world may offer quick solutions, but the true healing Ellen G. White speaks of is deeper, more profound, and eternal. It requires us to slow down, reconnect with nature, and restore our relationship with God. These plants are not just physical remedies, they are a call to return to God's original plan for humanity, where true health and peace reside. Now more than ever, the world needs the healing that comes from reconnecting with God's creation. The teachings of Ellen G. White invite us to rediscover these plants and the profound power they hold to restore our bodies, minds, and spirits. It is time to embrace this divine wisdom and allow it to transform our lives. As we reach the final reflection in this journey, it becomes clear that healing is not just about restoring the body. It's about restoring the soul, reconnecting with God, and realigning with His divine purpose for our lives. The three plants Ellen G. White revealed to us are more than just remedies. They are divine gifts that can heal both the body and the spirit. These plants offer a deeper healing, one that transcends mere physical wellness and addresses the spiritual void that so many people today are struggling with. Ellen G. White's teachings invite us to slow down, embrace nature, and understand that true healing comes not from external quick fixes, but from an internal, spiritual awakening. The power of these plants lies not only in their physical benefits, but also in their capacity to restore the harmony between our bodies and souls. They are a call to return to the original purpose for which we were created, to live in communion with God, in health, peace, and balance. As we face the challenges of modern life, where instant solutions are constantly promised, but often fail to bring lasting peace, the message from Ellen G. White is clearer than ever. Healing comes when we reconnect with divine wisdom. These plants are part of God's divine design for our lives, and by using them with faith and reverence, we can restore the balance that we so desperately need. The question remains, are we ready to embrace this divine wisdom and allow it to transform our lives? The world may offer distractions, but true healing is found in reconnecting with God's creation and His plan for us. Ellen G. White showed us that the answers are already here in nature, waiting to heal us, not only physically but also spiritually. If this message touched your heart, share it with others who also need healing. Like, comment, and subscribe to continue exploring the timeless truths that can bring peace and restoration to our lives. Let's embrace God's healing together, restoring our health, faith, and purpose, guided by Ellen G. White's divine wisdom.